morning, Nigeria. It's a good Friday to bring you trending stories from across the globe and indeed Nigeria in order to have some productive and hopefully interesting dialogue about the happenings that are shaping the world around us. We begin today's segment in Benue, where over 3,000 internally displaced persons from Yelawata community in Guma local government area of Benue State have taken to the streets of Makurdi, protesting severe food shortages and alleged mismanagement of relief materials meant for their survival. The visibly distraught IDPs in this video, many of them women and children, now currently reside in a shelter at the Makurdi International Ultra-Modern Market, where they were relocated after the June 13th massacre by suspected armed herdsmen. The development claimed over 200 lives, and they erased the homes of many people. The displaced persons are also alleging that officials have mishandled and diverted relief supplies meant for them. They further lamented that they were left with barely enough food or medical attention to survive. Despite the scale of the tragedy that happened in Benue, they're saying that aid to them has been slow and sporadic. They're saying that basic necessities, from food to water to healthcare, remain scarce. Many say that they've received little to no direct support. They're now appealing to both the state and the federal governments to either provide sufficient aid or facilitate their safe return to their ancestral homes at the very least. The irony of this story is not lost on me. The food basket of the nation now grapples for food, for water. This is absolutely unacceptable to be dealing with such loss, such grief, and now to be dealing with something as basic as hunger and food shortages. This is very sad. Let's take a look at some submissions from social media. Adetolaju says, "No be Nigeria again. Don't be surprised. The people who are doing this to their own people are Benue indigents. It's a systematic problem." Halima Adaobi says, "These are the people that needed that 30 million that the Kebbi state government brought to the crusade ground." I have got to agree with you. But moving on now, media mogul and former Senator Ben Murray-Bruce has sparked conversation with a bold prediction that Africa, particularly Nigeria, will be spared in the event of a future World War III, which he believes is becoming increasingly inevitable. He says that the looming threat of global conflict is due to the rise of nuclear weapons, escalating violence, and a growing number of, quote, trigger-happy leaders on the world stage. While he warned that such a war would leave much of the Western world in ruins, Ben Murray-Bruce suggested that Nigeria's non-nuclear stance, peaceful diplomacy, and geographical distance from current global flashpoints could shield us from all the devastation. Take a look at what he had to say.
What three is not going to affect Africa, right? Africa will be spared. You guys are going to fight all across the world, but we're going to be safe in Nigeria. Nobody's going to be fighting in Nigeria because we have no territorial ambition. We have no desire to acquire nuclear weapons. We don't want to fight anybody, and we're friends with all our West African neighbors. So yeah, there's going to be a World War III, but the rest of the world will be destroyed, and we'll be happy to welcome Americans and Israelis and Iranians to Nigeria, and we'll make sure you all have your visas to come here, because we don't want you to come as immigrants, and we don't want to treat you very badly when you get here, but we're going to treat you very well when you all come visit us.
Later on in the video, he also says that the country should be prepared to welcome displaced populations from Western countries, though, of course, under strict visa and border controls. These speculations are coming at a time of heightened global tensions, especially in the Middle East, where Iran and Israel have escalated direct hostilities through missile exchanges, drone attacks, and air raids. And of course, there is fear of a wider global war. This is very interesting. I think that if we should go into World War III, our resources in Africa will be needed more than ever in some parts to power the war. But what do I know? Let's take a look at social media. John Phillips had a lot to say. He said, "What does he know about international affairs? This is not the most beautiful girl in Nigeria beauty pageant. He should go and sit down somewhere and not tell us what we already know. A World War III will obviously affect us all. This is 2025 and we are all connected, and none will be immune. With the advanced world focusing on war, there are chances of the problem we are facing with those we call killer herders increasing exponentially. Of course we will be affected." We'll take two more tweets. At Black G's says, Nigerians are not immune to global turmoil as we face genocide-level killings of innocent civilians, teetering on the brink of an explosive ethnic conflict. And finally, Sheon Olatunji says, we are going to be safe. This is from the same country where we are not even safe with ourselves. Interesting. Moving on. A few months ago here on this segment, I took the story of a woman who was producing eco-friendly hair attachments from plantain stems from her home in Bayelsa. Well, congratulations are now in order to Madam Tare Robinson, the 51-year-old innovator behind Nigeria's first known plantain stem hair extension line, who has just received a 240 million naira loan from the Bayelsa State Governor Diri to expand her groundbreaking business. Now, Tare Robinson is known for turning plantain and banana trunks, often discarded as waste, into stylish, reusable hair extensions, and she caught national attention a few months ago for her creativity and entrepreneurial grit. Her products are made entirely from natural fibers, and they were gaining popularity amongst the women in her community. Governor Diri announced his support and praised her ingenuity and commitment to sustainability. And he said that local innovations like hers represent the kind of homegrown solutions that can drive economic transformation in the state and beyond. And I couldn't agree more. Here is him giving her that big, big loan.
Through our bankers, Premium Trust Bank. With that sum of about 240 million, listen. However, it is going to come as a loan. You are a businesswoman, and you know what business is. It's a loan, and the Commissioner for Finance will work that out. Now, the only area you will be happy is that
It is indeed great to see the governor supporting green enterprise and women-led businesses and, of course, rural innovation. Let's take a look at social media. Although, is she ready to commit to a 240 million naira loan? I must pay you back. Adozie O'Hare says, this is good, but you know what would be even better? Setting up an agency to identify such innovative businesses and investing in them, giving money and management support for a 1% stake in the business. This would help ensure growth and sustainability. Interesting. Taylor Hibb says, what a creative way to turn something so common into a thriving business opportunity. I'm really happy to see this kind of innovation getting recognized. Interesting. Team, I want to play a little game here. What do you like to see on your women's heads, Nelson and Toma? What do you like to see? Do you want to see a full-on human hair wig bust down, or are you okay with plantain stem hair extension? Be honest.
I am okay with her hair as natural as God gave it to her. Whether plantain, a human or animal, hair, please, you know. So that's just it.
Natural hair look better, you know. Plantain, whatever on your hair, it's stylish. But for me, the fact that she could develop that to a business is groundbreaking, and it's fantastic. And I want to say a big thank you to Governor Diri. However, 240 million, is that what she needs? Is that not an overkill? Is it going to translate into new cars and new homes and all that? And very little of that money goes into the business itself. That's a different question entirely. And since that is coming from the state government, will she, at the end of the day, get 240 million? I'm just asking questions. I'm not pointing fingers. And for Ben Murray Bruce, that man knows how to trend. All right? He knows how to trend. The hostilities between Israel and Iran, a lot of people are seeing signs that countries are going to take sides, you know, and it will metamorphose into World War III. Nobody prays for that. But that Africa will be insulated, I really don't think so. I really don't. The Benue IDP protest, sad that is happening. And you know that the relief materials are controlled by people from Benue State, and for the IDPs to come out and do, that's another sad story.
And that's where I'll pick it up from. We have seen similar stories from the Northeast where food items given to those in IDPs were taken to the market to be sold with the branded sacks, just like that, for people to buy. I wonder where our milk of human kindness has gone. What dried it up? How do you see that these things meant for people who are in certain conditions that are pitiable? You still see the condition and you decided to stash what belongs to these people. You take it and you can sleep at night. It's sad that we do this to ourselves. This is not government now. This is we as individuals doing this to ourselves. We should begin to have a rethink of how we treat everyone we come across, not just even the IDPs who are in a deplorable condition as the things are right now. No wonder the Chief of Defense Staff is talking about how people were aiding those who came into Benue State to carry out these attacks. I think we should start seeing people as we see ourselves, that we ensure that we treat people the way we want others to treat us. It's very important. And then for the story of the woman in Bayelsa State, kudos to the government for taking that step. But 280 million is a loan, and the governor emphasized that, so she knows that she's in business to make profit and to ensure she pays back the loan, because the governor emphasized that, so she will need to use those monies judiciously to ensure she expands as much as possible. And I hope that a lot of people encourage her business. You guys may not want your wives or girlfriends using that plantain hair, but then how does she expand if people are not buying? It's important that we encourage her business.
Women can,
of course,
they can put anything they want on their hair.
Fine.
No problem.
Thank you.
Are you done, Vern?
No, the other matter that I wanted to quickly touch on, which Ben Murray Bruce talked about, he is just re-emphasizing or re-echoing the fact that African countries, including Nigeria, signed the Pelindaba Treaty that ensures that no African countries take up research, anything that has to do with nuclear weapons and get into any other thing that has to do with wars like this. So it's important that these conversations are heard, but saying that African countries and Nigeria is insulated, we have become intertwined, and there is because of trade deals and all of it. So we cannot say we are insulated totally. When the Russia-Ukraine war began, we saw how it impacted our oil and even the grains that we get from there. So we cannot totally say. I believe he knows these things.
Well, I would agree with Ben Bruce there in an amen that Nigeria would be secluded from the effect of whatever would be, if that is even the case in the first place. So I think Bruce was just being prophetic in what he said. So on that, I'm with you, sir. For this lady who's using, plantain, I mean, that's absolute ingenuity. Beautiful, fantastic to see, for her age, to go to being that creative. I mean, madam, I want to see you face to face. So I probably want to even visit that place to see exactly how the process is done, from plantain to hair. Wow, that's amazing. And so for the governor to give you 240 million naira, it's a good boost. Put it to use. Maybe train more women and any other person who want to learn how to do that. And that business can expand from within Bayelsa to probably all across Nigeria. For our IDPs who are protesting, sometimes it's really sad that we'll have to do this to people who are already in a situation that is somewhat helpless. How can we even, how do you go to bed at night?
I mean,
with people who are in squalor and you can sleep with yourself? I wonder really. And that's why sometimes the issue of insecurity keeps lingering, because people begin to profit from the pain of other people. We can't continue living like that as a people in a country, for Christ's sake. It's time we give up some of this kind of lifestyle. It's absolutely wrong.
It's sad.
A food basket of a nation crying for food? What an oxymoron.
Honestly, thank you all so much. Indeed, I always find it a bit humorous when we ask, how do they sleep at night? Because they sleep at night. And that is the most troubling part.
Unfortunately,
thank you so much.
Yeah.